Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. We just got a brand new hero, Doomfist, but would you believe that the next one, number 26, is already fully playable on the internal Blizzard servers? Special thanks for today's sponsor, TubeBuddy. I've been using it for almost 2 years, and it's amazing. Custom templates, bulk editing, tag rankings, and a lot more. If you want to grow your channel, TubeBuddy can help. Click the link below to learn more. In a recent interview, Jeff Kaplan talked about the new heroes and what their plans are. How many heroes they're going to have in the game and this sort of thing, and basically the pacing that they want to have for releasing new heroes. And he revealed that the next one, number 26, is fully playable on their servers, but he didn't want to give out too much information. Let me play that clip for you right now.
What's in store for the game?
I don't think there is such a thing as too many heroes, but I think we also need to come out with heroes at a good pace. We have lots of amazing plans for new heroes. Hero 26 is very playable and very fun internally, and that's all I'll say. And it's not coming out as soon as you think, so everybody don't think that's a teaser, but Hero 26 is already amazing.
Alright, so he didn't give us a lot of direct information, but there is some indirect information that we can kind of infer from what he said. Now, you gotta ignore a lot of the stuff. It's fun and enjoyable. Of course he's gonna say that. I mean, he's not gonna say, oh, we got this new hero, it's terrible. Nobody's gonna wanna play it. But the thing that was important was that he said it's very playable, meaning that the character is already at a pretty advanced stage of development. So there are a whole bunch of different stages to the character creation process in Overwatch. And although Jeff Kaplan didn't directly tell us where the character was, we can get a pretty good idea from what he did say. So at the beginning of the character creation, you just have basically the concept. It's an idea on paper, and you have some artists that draw up basically what the character is probably going to look like and what abilities they're going to have. Then it gets passed over to some of the other devs, and they're going to start coding the abilities of that new character into the game. And they're just going to slap those abilities onto a placeholder character. Once they've done that, they're going to start balancing and tweaking the abilities, making sure that they work properly and that they're not too strong or too weak. After that has happened, then they're going to start adding the art assets to the game and making the character actually look the way they want it to look. And then one of the final things is they're going to get the voice actor to come in and actually voice all of the lines that they need for the character. And once all of that stuff has been done, then they can put it onto the PTR and it will be publicly tested. And once all that testing has been done, then it gets put onto the live version of the game. Now, since Jeff Kaplan said that the character is very playable on the internal servers, that means they already fully have the concept of the character all done. They have all of the abilities all done. They've been programmed into the game. They're functioning. They're working. So the only thing that they really probably need to do is some of the art assets and the voice acting, and then the character is pretty much done. Now, when is it going to be released? Well, he said it's not going to happen soon, and I don't necessarily think that it is a result of the character not being ready. I think it's more of they want to release it, they want to announce it at BlizzCon. So even if the character is finished ahead of time, they're basically just going to hold it back and wait until BlizzCon so that they can have another really big announcement, kind of like what they did with Sombra last year. So I definitely think that the character is going to be finished a lot sooner than they're hinting, but we're not going to see anything official until BlizzCon, unless we get lucky and something gets leaked, in which case I'll make a video on it as soon as I can. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so, because as soon as any of that stuff drops, I'll be sure to let you guys know. So what kind of new character are we going to get? There's a whole bunch of potential candidates. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, what is the new character's role going to be? There doesn't really seem to be any sort of set pattern. Like, we have Ana as a support, we have Doomfist and Sombra as the attackers, and then Orisa as a tank. Now, Doomfist was added basically because it was a fan request. Orisa was added because the game needed more tanking stuff, and then Ana was added because the game needed more healing stuff at the time. So it seems like Blizzard is adding characters that fill a need, as opposed to filling a role that, you know, might not have already gotten a character. Like, I don't necessarily think we're going to get a defensive character simply because we haven't gotten a new one yet, is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, if I had to guess, I really don't think it's going to be an offensive character. It's not going to be a tank. My bet would be it's probably going to be defensive, but most likely it's going to be a healer. Because one of the major complaints is that the healing in this game just doesn't feel very rewarding, so they might add something for that. But now let's run through all of the potential candidates. So the first one is the newest character that has been added to the game, which is the Queen of Junkertown. I really don't think that character is going to be number 26 at all. Because it was just added, I mean, the map isn't even live yet. I really don't think that the Queen is going to be the next character. Now, the next one could be Maximilian, and this was the character from the comics. So this is that robot guy, and he is part of Talon, and he works with Doomfist and the rest of them. So one of the things that has been requested quite a bit is having a bad guy as a healer. Basically someone who is not affiliated with Overwatch, but instead they're a member of Talon. So that opens up a lot of cool little possibilities, kind of similar to how like Reaper has his lifesteal. The new Talon healer could do something similar to that. Maybe you have to do damage to an enemy and you kind of like take their health and you kind of store it and then you can give it to one of your teammates or something like that. So that would be pretty neat. Now, some other potential candidates came from a leak back in May. This was when we were still getting some of the early Doomfist stuff, and it's Bria and Ivan. Some of you guys might remember that. So let me quickly read you the old leak that we had for that. It says, Bria is the smallest hero we've released so far. Concept for her right now is of a blue-yellow steampunky teen with a wrist computer, and then Ivan's style guide is that of a tall, lanky elderly man wearing a close-fitting black business suit with red accents, holding a tablet device and a small suppressed pistol. And there was some more information basically talking about how Ivan would use basically these little kind of remote drone things that he would use to attack and stuff. And a lot of people have mentioned that this description of Ivan kind of matches Maximilian quite a bit. And the last potential candidate is, of course, Hammond from the Horizon Lunar Colony map. Now, he is the only one of all of the test subjects that is currently unaccounted for. Winston obviously went to Earth. All of the other test subjects, the other gorillas, are still on the Horizon base. If you go and play the map with Winston, he'll actually say something about how all of the other gorillas are elsewhere in the base, and that's why you don't see them when you're actually playing the map. But Hammond is the only test subject that is unaccounted for, and we know that it's not a gorilla. Now, we don't know exactly what kind of animal it is. It was simply remarked that Hammond was much smaller than the others, so it could be like a smaller type of primate, or it could be something else. Maybe a cat, maybe a cat that has a jetpack. And maybe we could get a jetpack cat for the next hero. That is something that they teased, and they said that it was a little too silly out there. But given that a lot of people actually would be excited to play a jetpack cat, I don't know, maybe we'll have to wait and see. So what would I personally like to see for the new character? Well, I really don't care too much about the appearance. It doesn't really matter to me. Although, I didn't say this before, but I do think that the new character will be male. And that's because we had Ana, Sombra, and Orisa, 3 new female characters, and the only new male one we got was Doomfist. So it's probably going to be male. Whether it's Omnic or not, I have no idea. But I really don't care what the characters look like. I'm more interested in what their abilities are and how they change the game. So having said that, I think a new healer would be a pretty good addition to the game. But the problem is what kind of healing? We already got the beam from Mercy, we've got the shoot your teammates with Ana, the AoE from Lucio, and the heal over time from Zenyatta. So it would have to be something kind of interesting. It might be maybe location-based, where it's a more effective thing than Soldier 76's Biotic Field. Or you could do that whole kind of vampire siphon thing that I mentioned earlier, where you do damage, and then you take health from one, and then you give it to another. Or you could even sacrifice some of your own health in order to give it to a teammate, and you would have to kind of like balance that out. You would have to manage your own health and not die, while at the same time giving enough health to your teammates. So that would be kind of interesting. You could have a different kind of heal over time, whereas Zenyatta, you just put the orb on someone and you kind of leave it there. You could have another type of heal over time character where you drop a heal on somebody and it lasts for like 3 to 5 seconds and then it goes away. So you constantly have to refresh it, but what you can do is you can basically put it on one teammate, then put it on another teammate and another teammate. There would have to be some sort of cooldown on it, obviously. Maybe it might be pretty short, like 2 or 3 seconds or something like that. But that would be a pretty interesting way that you could heal your teammates. As for the ultimate, there's an ability from Dota 2 that I would like to steal. It's called Shallow Grave. In Dota, it's just a regular ability, but in Overwatch, it would have to be an ultimate. But it's really cool because what you can do is you put Shallow Grave on a teammate, and for the duration of Shallow Grave, that teammate cannot die. They become completely immortal. They can do anything they want, all the normal stuff, they just can't die. Their health gets dropped down to 1, like when they take damage, but it never goes below until it wears off. So you would still have to heal that person, right? Because if you just ignore them and don't do anything, then as soon as Shallow Grave wears off, they're going to be stuck at 1 hit point, and then they're just going to instantly die to anything that happens to, you know, brush past them. But the idea is you would give a teammate essentially immortality for about, 5 or so seconds, which would be pretty cool. It would be really neat to try to combo that with some other powerful abilities. I mean, if you use that on a Genji who was using his ultimate, I mean, it wouldn't get the damage boost that you get from Nano, but you would get a lot more survivability. So it's a really cool idea. I mean, obviously it would have to be tweaked in order to work properly with Overwatch, but that's just, what I would like to see. So what do you guys think it's going to be? Leave all your wild speculation down in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord server and follow me on Twitter. The links for that stuff is down below. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.